Our Inuvialuit have been doing the traditional songs and dances since time immemorial. They have kept the culture alive in spite of hard times in the old days. It's a way of life our people do not want to lose. By repeated efforts, they are reviving the songs and dances that had become so popular among our ancestors.
Drum dancing is it's kind of oral tradition passed on through song and dance, and the beat of the drum is kind of like emulates the heartbeat, and the songs are made up from people that were our forefathers that passed on songs to us from the land and the animals that they watched. To me, that's drum dancing.
I don't quite remember when we started, but we started this fall. There was myself, Martha, and Jean. When we first started teaching, I wasn't quite sure if I wanted to teach, and later on I felt better when they started learning. It's very hard to teach dancing when you haven't got drummers and singers, and that's why it was so hard for me at the start of the dancing instructions. We've had to do our own drumming and singing, but now that they're learning very quickly and they start taking over, it makes it easier for us to teach the dancing and singing. They're getting really good.
Drum dancing is when you have the men drumming, and at the beginning the men sing the first part, and then the girls start singing, and they sing Inuvialuit, and you have different moves for different songs.
Drum dancing is part of our Inuvialuit culture, to have fun and tell stories through song, through dance. Our drum dancing started with our elders and just carried on. They all have their own individual songs that they made themselves. Well, it'd be out on a hunt, or traveling on the land, going out with dogs, traditional lifestyle. It's a story of what happened during a hunt. We're out just traveling, checking traps, whatever.
It's good to keep the culture alive for the younger generation to learn what our ancestors have passed on to us. And our language is slowly going away, and this is what we have right now.
dancing is a form of entertainment, spiritual, calming effect, social gathering when all the people get together. Nowadays it's the young and the old, medium age or in between ages that get together, and we do singing and dancing, and some of our songs has special meanings to them with special movements, and some of them are just what we call freelance with no special movements or special meanings. Mostly our songs are made up of the kind of weather or the atmosphere that we're having, hunting, a lot about animals, and some things are funny and very entertaining.
Continue to evolve. We just need to, I think that's one of the areas we probably need the most help on, is developing songs and stories like our ancestors did. It was so easy for them because that's what they did. Now it's like, you know, just because drum dancing has been revived, what, 20, 30 years ago, I think we need to start learning how to develop new songs.
This is called Simon's Song, and this song was known to be done by Bennett Inukshuk, and his son was named Simon, and so he taught his son this song, and it became his son's favorite song, Simon's Song.
Although some people were reluctant to join in the group, they slowly gained a following of about 30 drummers and dancers. In a short time, they have made performances that surprised a lot of people.
It makes me feel good inside. The way it really started is I connected to a song. An elder told me the background of the song, so happens the guy was out hunting seal. I can relate to that. It's about him out on a hunt.
Drum dance to teach the younger kids, for my daughter especially, so she'll grow up learning it and passing it on to her kids and keep it going.
Our language is dying. It's slowly disappearing, and this will enable us to pass on the language, even though it's at a minor level that's not fluent. It will be, to me, it'll be like they'll be the storytellers of the future. To me, that's the way I see it.
How does the drum dancing feel from the bottom of my heart? It's awesome. No words.
I remember we used to live in a co-op house in Inuvik, and it was in the late 1960s, and my parents and Kathleen Hansen from AKLAVIK and Amos Paul from AKLAVIK and Kenneth and Rosie Pililuk and Tom and Sarah Kalinik and a whole bunch of other drummers and dancers from Tuck and that were all gathered at my dad's house, and they were learning a new song called Savik Da. They were practicing it, and it was getting loud, and the drumming was loud, and I really enjoyed it, watching their time and patience doing the song over and over. And when they used to perform at the Ingoma Hall before it was even big like that, they used to have a small Ingoma Hall, and I used to watch them perform, and I thought, yeah, I wish I could do that. And in 1989 was when I had the chance, when they said, we're going to teach drum dancing in each community. And that's when I really started drum dancing.
Well, the reason I wanted to dance was I watched my Gordon dance a lot of times, and I liked the way he dances, and the rest of the AKLAVIK group where I grew up. So when I heard they were starting one here, I wanted to join in and start too. And it's a good way to learn how to talk some Eskimo if they sing.
Our youth group for the drum dance group is pretty big. Yeah, there wasn't too many today, but there's about 30 kids probably. Sometimes, some nights we have up to 50 kids that come out. They have an interest in it. Yeah. They see it as important. I think they enjoy it because it's fun. Yeah. They see a chance to keep their culture alive, part of their language. Yeah.
Every song that we do either has to do with the land, it has to do with how people traveled, or it has to do with an animal or a bird. And the words that come along with it show how they live or what they do, what they eat, and right up to one that's called Gumiglugi, where you have ducks that are in a lake and they're fluffing their feathers and ready to fly.
You know, in 1989, it was dying off. But through the Inuvialuit Regional Corporation and Cultural and Communications of Canada, they funded money for it to go on and on, for us younger people to do the performances and everything. And now that the elders have passed on, if we, don't keep it up with our generation now, it'll slowly die off. But to keep it going, we have to teach it's most important to teach our younger generation to keep it going. When we'll never be here, it'll keep on going for them.
I thought it was a hopeless cause there for a while, especially with me. Like, they told me to get up and dance, and I got up and I said, well, what do I do with my arms? What do I do with my legs? And like, it's there, but it just took teaching, somebody, encouragement, somebody to say, hey, this is how you do it. And once you get that, it's not hard to learn.
One of the unique things about AKLAVIK is no matter how we go about in the community, everybody comes together for some occasion, and drum dance is one of those occasions because we need to share that culture, and we take a lot of pride in it and are thankful our community sees that pride, and they just keep encouraging us. We encourage the young people to continue and be respectful to the culture and to our tradition.
Drum dancing would go on for hours at a time, with no one really wanting to quit. In the days of our ancestors, they always had a way of participating, either by drumming, dancing, or singing.
Many, many years ago, I guess people were always out hunting and trapping, or hunting in the early days. And a lot of people, when they knew that there were going to be festivities at a certain time of the year, which was the darkest time of the year, would start preparing their songs and dances that they were going to use when there was a big gathering. So a lot of the songs were made up, and the dances, when people were out maybe alone, traveling someplace on a hunting trip or something like that. That's when they made up their songs and dances.
Some people still say that was the best times that they have ever had. They could express their ties with the land, people, animals, and their natural surroundings, which were interpreted into songs and dances.
Drum dancing means a lot to me because I grew up with both styles, from my great-grandmother and my mother, and my grandparents also from the Western style. It means a lot to me to pass it on because they were the ones that taught us how culture and traditions are. And they're very, very healing to the heart, where it means where you grew up, where you came from, and where you're going to be from here.
All the youth, they're really interested in going into places and meeting other people. Drum dancing is possibly a really good way to go out and explore it and show them our culture, show them what we did, and tell them our stories. let them know that we're around.
Each individual song and dance has a story to it, and the dances mainly tell all the stories. A lot of them are to do mainly with happy moments, hunting, fishing, traveling, living off the land.
How do you move on that part of sound or song? And it just makes you feel so good that they are really interested and your heart is open to let them know which move to take, and it just lightens you up and just happy.
Justin is like our rock. Like no matter what happens, after we had lost our elders, we lost like our other adult members of the group. They couldn't deal with the loss and stuff. So, but Justin was always there. It's like, you know, that Inukshuk on the hill that, you know, it's got the proper base, the foundation laid out, and it was built up properly, picking all the right pieces to go in, and it's gonna stand there forever. And that's how Justin is as well.
The next generation needs to know it, because if we lose it, then there might be a chance that we can't get it back.
Love it. It's our culture. It's fun. Yeah, it takes out all the stress when I sing.
Showing kids step-by-step movements can guide them to be more knowledgeable about the dancing and the singing. Along with the younger kids, there are the adults who should be willing to learn and in the future will be the teachers of our kids. The teaching of our youth and young adults has begun, and the process of learning will be ongoing.
We started off with cardboard box drums with duct tape, patched up sticks. We patch it up. We use pencils, rulers, whatever we can find to patch up for a stick. And we use the cardboard box. Later on after that we got a drum and we used green garbage bags to keep changing it over on the frame.
Most of them have a story to them. Some of them we don't really remember the true meaning of it, but a lot of them we do. And when you dance a song that somebody else made from long ago, or you make a dance from an old song, you're honoring that person and that tradition to carry on, because it's such a strong feeling you have inside when you hear the drums and you hear the singing and you dance to your heart's content. It's the best feeling that you have from way deep inside.
The motions I dance to, like you'd see like a caribou going this way and another one going that side, and a hunter is on top of the mountain. He's looking down at the animals, looking down like that, and when he puts his arms up this way, he starts seeing the whole land. You see his animals right down there. When he goes down to get the animal, he cuts it up and goes back on top of the mountain and he starts dancing the song Urim Navani, beans at the top of the mountain.
Yeah, drum dancing is my favorite. It's because I'm always happy when I'm drum dancing. I like to show it. Yeah.
They've been traveling since they started. I don't remember the years again, maybe later in 2000, the Hanover, I think in Germany, was one of the first big trips that I've seen, and that was awesome. I think that's what drew a lot of the others in, is to see what was going on, and then not only that they were going to be able to continue the cultural and traditional dancing and stuff, but the trips take advantage of going out there and doing these things for the rest of the world. That's awesome. They had a chance more recently to go to Yellowknife on the Prince William and Cape. Did that, and I don't know how long they were speaking about it after the trip. That was awesome. That was really cool. So yeah, the group. I'm really proud of the group. It's just overwhelming how much of them, when you get them together in one place, wow, you got to think, geez, we got that many young people in town.
Fun, like you could do the moves and like the culture and the beating of the drum. And my friends help too.
We need to support the drum dance group with our pride and respect for drum dancing. They will be the teachers of tomorrow, and it will continue to grow because of the importance we place on our culture.
I'm really proud of the group that is starting up. I've been involved with them, with drumming and dancing since the early 1960s. And I take great pride in being able to help in any way I can. And I think, as I mentioned, it's part of our history, it's part of our culture. So therefore, I think it's really important to keep it alive.
Drum dancing is a tradition that was carried on with Inuvialuit in this region by getting together. When people got together, they got drums, danced in the dark days. I'm not sure it was Christmas or whenever they had gatherings. They use drum dancing to communicate to each other, to show people that they're happy, everything's okay in troubled times and in scarce times. So I guess that's the way to be happy, to celebrate with each other. And that drum dancing was the way, I think, instead of sitting down in a little igloo and telling stories, but I guess that somewhere that somebody started that drum dancing, and it's a tradition that is carried on to us. When it gets warm, you just want to dance in the festivals. So that's how I think our young group is. And I've always told them time and time again, be happy. Songs are to be passed on to be happy. And try to count the songs. It's probably over 200 songs in this area.
In Tuck, I can remember them having dances at Chief William Mangilaluk's house. And this is something that was passed down from generation to generations now. Along the way, there was a lot of new songs and dances made up, but a lot of the songs and dances that they do now or have done over the years has been passed down for hundreds of years.
Some songs is about polar bear and traveling. They put a wording on. So, like this buddy with the joking buddy. Most of the time is they make a song to each other, those two buddies. That's the way it turn out lots. Songs with a word, other guy don't want to make mistake there, and the other guy going to make a song out of it. So that's the way I was growing up. I know it a little bit for that part.
Inuvialuit drum dancing has been a part of our culture for many generations. Before everyone moved here to Tuck, we had all different villages that in Inuvialuit and Bailey Island and everywhere else, and that's where basically it came from. Inuvialuit drum dancing was a way of celebrating our culture and tradition. For instance, in the winter, we'd all they'd be at their posts, and it comes springtime, they'd celebrate the good hunt, the good harvest, the good year that they had. They'd all gather together and they'd drum and dance and sing into the wee hours of the morning. Not just drum dancing, but also fiddle.
There is a warm sense of pride when you watch the drummers and dancers perform. It makes you feel that our culture will not die away in the future.